Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, as usual, on our board here, we have our discussion from our last video. And we'll go through a slight review because we will be moving on to a challenging subject. And this might be challenging to some people, but here's what we talked about. Nothing exists until you create it. You're the creator of your world. When I'll say in our model here, we picked out here you. This little diagram here with the squiggly lines around it represents the black box of you. Inside here, magnificent things happen. I don't know what they all are. I only have an insight into some. So some of those are you receive information from the outside, which is meaningless as you receive it from your senses, your sensory input. And it is the infinite field of everything which you are embedded in. And what is that? These are quantum fields, interacting quantum fields of consciousness. We're embedded in that energy field. Now, so here you are, and you receive information which is meaningless until you decode it, sort it, filter it, and then interpret the data. And what do you use to do that with? What you know, your life experiences as memories. And so you see this information, you touch this information, you hear what the senses are transmitting, which is just energy, different forms. You got 5 senses, and each sense picks up a different strata of energy from out here, from the infinite field. And so you take that in, and based upon your belief system and your experiences with life, your memories, which are now coalesced into statements of belief, you decode that information. And when you decode it, it comes from meaningless to meaningful data for you, only for you. If I took the same information in, it'd be different from me than it is for you. We think it's all the same. No, it's all the same out here. It's different in here. Why? You're the only one that has your belief system. And I have my belief system. So what I create and what you create are not going to be the same. They might be close, and they're close usually because we have a lot of things in common. Same language, same country, same politics, same school system. If our religious convictions are close to each other, we're going to create much the same, but never, ever the same. So what you create here is all the objects there are in the universe. Right here. The whole cosmos for you is right here. And then you project it onto this energy system and believe that it's outside of you. But it never is. It's always a projection of what you're doing inside. It is your creation. It is your total cosmos. And without you, that cosmos doesn't exist. Mine exists, but mine is not yours. And without you, this cosmos doesn't exist. Well, that's what we talked about last time. And now we're going to go on to something even more profound now. And this is our subject for today. So let me read it here. Surprising insight. Free will and the mind of consciousness. Well, now look at our little board. It's pretty clear, a lot of white space on it to write on. But we're going to be looking at following a certain path through a scientific approach to willpower. That's going to be a little different. So we have to start off with consciousness. And so we make an assumption, which I've made in many videos and talked about. And here's what it is. Consciousness is fundamental. It exists as an infinite quantum state. All things come from it, and all things return to it. It is the one thing, and within that one field are infinite interacting quantum fields. That is the infinite field of everything that we're embedded in. So that's our starting point. And so that field is infinite. And therefore, it's all spread out. You're not going to see it on a conscious level because the conscious mind thinks in classical terms within the egoic belief system. This is behind what you're aware of on a conscious level. So let us look at another question, which I want to make sure that I get right here. In that field, everything is interconnected and entangled. Now we see our little diagram here. This represents just a little bit of that entanglement that we're going to talk about. So within the field, for every action, there is a reaction. For every action, there is a reaction. And I checked this out, and in Google, I'll put it up here, overview, the phrase, everything, for every action, there is a reaction, is a simplified version of Newton's third law of motion, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So everything is interconnected, and everything is entangled. It is throughout the cosmos. It's just not this little section. It's just not you. It's just not your world. Everything is interconnected. So let us ask AI that particular question and see what she says. Is everything in the universe interconnected? AI overview. Yes, everything in the universe is interconnected from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy through fundamental forces like gravity and quantum physics. There we have it. Everything is interconnected. And this represents this. So you can look here and see the interconnections of everything. This is 2D. You got to look at it as 3D, maybe 4D. Everything is interconnected. So, but in the egoic world, in that little separate illusion, everything is separate, nothing is connected. That's the way we believe. That's the way we are programmed in the egoic world. So to talk about interconnections and that everything is interconnection is against the belief system that we were programmed in. So for some of you, that's going to be hard to reconcile. And so let us look at another insight into the same approach. And it is that of the Hermetic principles. And the first Hermetic principle, whether you think it's right or wrong, it is a fresh approach. And it is this. And this is the first principle. The all, which is consciousness, the all is mind. The universe is mental. This first principle embodies the truth that the all is mind, meaning the universe itself at an underlying and fundamental level is mental, that all phenomena of life, matter and energy of the material universe are just thoughts of the infinite and universal living mind, which means all things share a connection in the fact that they exist within the mind of the all. Sometimes we talk about, oh, you'll see it on YouTube, we live in a simulation. It's saying the same thing. A little different words, but it's the same thing. Now let's take a look at this here, our model. Everything is interconnected. Now do you see the lines of connection? Now in another video, I showed these little springs, these lines as little springs. And as, say this one here, this kind of green one, wanted to move someplace. Well, if it wanted to move, I'm going to exercise my free will. I'm going to move. Where's it going to move to? Where can it move without the support and cooperation with the rest of the system? It is stuck where it's at. So if it moves, everything else must change and rebalance. So there is, whether you recognize it or not, there is a tremendous dance going on between consciousness and your will. Who has free will? There's only one free will, consciousness. For you to move, everything else has to agree for you to move. You don't move independent. You don't have free will to move. It looks like it in the egoic world, but behind that, where everything is interconnected, everything is balanced, everything is one system in the mind of consciousness, you're not going to move until other people cooperate with you. See, we think we're independent. We're never independent. And if you look deeply, even in the egoic world, you see there's nothing that you can do that is not influencing other people, and through that process of interconnection, they are influencing your decisions. Now, you can rationalize a whole bunch of stuff, but scientifically, everything is interconnected. Scientifically, you can't do anything that is not influenced by an aspect of consciousness, and what consciousness does through these agents here is going to affect you. So when we begin to recognize that we're all interconnected, we should be able to cooperate more effectively to support the whole. Now, let's us look at something else. As we get the idea here that there is a dance going on. You're dancing with everything, and everything is dancing with you. There's nothing you can do that is not going to affect or be involved with everything else. And so it ripples through the whole universe. It's just not right here. On a conscious level, in the egoic world, it looks like it's right here. But behind that is this model. Now, if we look at that, we have to be aware of another principle in the Hermetic 7 principles of self-mastery, and that is the, let me look here, that is the, I think it's the third one, and it is the principle of vibration. And here's what it says. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This principle embodies the truth that nothing rests, everything is in motion, and everything vibrates. It explains that matter, energy, and even spirit are simply variations, varying rates of vibration. Everything's moving. And so now, if you picture yourself dancing with the universe and how it vibrates, now picture 100 different operators or agents dancing. Now picture 1 billion. How rapid is this system working? And where is your free will? Only in your imagination. Only in the egoic belief system. There is no free will. And that's the point. So we should be able to understand that and cooperate within this system to support consciousness. Oh, let's see what else we got here. In that matrix, there is only one free will, and that is of consciousness. Every other form of imagined free will in the egoic world is an illusion of control. Well, everybody wants control, so they want to convince you. Well, you're going to have free will. You can go ahead and do that. I told you to do it. Go ahead and do it. And some of us do, and some of us get into trouble. So, you're dancing with the universe. And can you get what you want within the system? Yes, you can. What do you got to do? You got to change. Oh, there's the rub. There's much to talk about here in the illusion. Be good to yourself. And we will see you next time, right here, as always, in the illusion.